through the time, I'm going to go through and cold call. So full disclaimer, when I'm calling, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody might answer or everybody might answer. I just don't know. We've had all kinds of calls. A couple of weeks ago, I picked up a deal in one of our private group sessions for one of our academy members, which is super cool. But yeah, so that's it. But like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I could get hung up on. I could not get hung up on. I don't even know. But we'll see. And whatever's going to happen, it will be the best. So tonight's Thursday. The Cleveland Browns are playing the Steelers tonight. See the Cleveland shirt. But our season has been absolute garbage. So at least like if we could just ruin like a game for the Steelers, that would mean a lot to me. So we'll see. But I don't want to do a bunch of fluff, guys. I'm just trying to get into this and help you guys out. Karen, can you turn my screen sharing on, please? So, guys, let me know in the chat when you're coming in, where you're from and what your experience level is, please. You guys ever done these boom boom sticks? It was on Shark Tank. It like opens up your nasal passage. And I'm a little congested. So, there we go. Awesome. I can share my screen. So, cold calling 101. I'm going to break down some basics here in a second. So I always like to kick it off with a little quiz, a little true and false. Like I said earlier, by the end of this training, you guys are going to maybe not be comfortable enough to do cold calls. I don't know, but hopefully you're going to see me fail and fail in front of you. Somebody that's done over 1,000 transactions just lets you know I'm human and that's part of the game. It's a 100% A numbers game. And by the end of this training too, I got a couple things. You got a couple options. Number one is like the training's over and you guys can just kind of go back to doing whatever you're doing. Or if you're interested and if you guys qualify, we want to get you set up on a strategy session where you guys can talk to somebody on our team to kind of like give you guys a roadmap and kind of lay out some step-by-step help, or even just get you some free resources. So I don't know what direction we'll go or you'll go, but we'll talk about it here in a little bit. So let's check this out. And this is for, okay, that's also too for everybody that stays till the end. I'm going to give you a free copy of my book. It's the digital copy. You guys can download it. It's like 80 pages long. It's super easy to read. I wrote a book for people that don't like to read, and that's like me. I should have just done like a coloring book or something, but instead I got a little ebook or whatever this thing is. But it's also on Amazon, and it makes a great stocking stuffer, so feel free to buy it for that too. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, we got new investor LA. So let's start with some true and false. Let me know in the chat where you guys stand with this. True or false? Cold calling is illegal. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let's see what we got. Who do we got? What do we got? New investor. Ooh, welcome, Christina, new investor. Hey guys, also too, I said it earlier. If you want me to call in your zip code, you guys have got to have your camera on. So if you have a camera on, I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 calls in each zip code. And if nobody answers in your zip code, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But you know, we'll figure it out. What's up, Kenny? Kenny's back. What's up, man? How are you, Kenny? All right, cold calling is illegal. All right, number 2. It is not illegal. That is a false statement, folks. Up next, true or false? You must be able to speak good English to invest in real estate. What do you guys think? True or false? False. All right. Tyler says false, false. All right. False. All right. Cool. I agree with that. And guys, the reason I put that on here is because like in our private community, we get some people that will not want to make calls because they're afraid that they have an accent. And I'm going to share a little story about that here in a second. Number 2 is cash flow is key. Who here thinks cash flow is the most important thing when it comes to buying real estate? Let me know. Tyler says true. Ken says no, it's not. Nathan, Chris says true. All right, we got a mixed bag. All right, awesome. I like a little shaking it up a little bit. So let's keep going. All right. My English is not very good. That's all right. My English, like, guys, people make fun of. I'll do coaching calls in our private community and I'll type stuff out, and literally everything I write will be spelled wrong. But do you know what? It doesn't matter because I'm just like, because it just doesn't matter. I was gonna be like, because it just doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter. Things that you think matter don't. And here's why everything I spell is wrong. So to the left, you're gonna see my high school transcripts. This is how I like graduated high school, right? I graduated 311th out of 320 kids, 1.53 GPA. And I kind of put that on there. because I don't know, just because like it's that thing. It's like it's easy to talk about being poor when you're not poor anymore. And it's like it's easy to talk about being dumb like when you're not really dumb anymore by like school standards. And for me, like I came from a big immigrant family, and like I was taught the one thing. It's like go to school so you can get a good job, and then get a good job so you can work, and then work for 40 years so then you can retire and whatever else, right? And that's like what was just pressed, like just dug in my head over and over. And all my cousins were like doctors, engineers, like lawyers. They were just all these successful people. And I could barely even make it through high school. So I was going through my exit interview with my guidance counselor, Mr. Flick, in high school. And he's like, well, Jarius, what do you plan on doing after high school? And I said what I thought was the right answer. And I was like, well, I want to go to college. And he looked at me and he's like, well, do you have any more realistic expectations? And I was like, well, looks like I'm screwed. I can't even go to college. Like, what am I going to do? So I went across the auditorium and I signed up for the military, and I joined the Army National Guard, and I became a helicopter mechanic. So I spent about 10 years being a helicopter mechanic, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. And it taught me a couple things. The one thing it taught me was like the way I learned wasn't how the school system taught us. And the way the school system taught, and probably still teaches, I think, I don't even know, but is like you gotta like memorize, 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 take a test, memorize, take a test. And I was not good at memorizing. So when I went into the military as a helicopter mechanic, it was one of the toughest jobs you could have. And I actually ended up graduating as a distinguished honor graduate. Like I was in the top of my class. Like I crushed it. I did really well. And and then I was like, well, man, what was the difference between that and being and what I did in school? And the big difference was in the military, it taught us that we didn't need to know all the answers, but we needed to know where to find the answers. And I got really good at finding the answers. So while I was in the military, I had managed to destroy my credit and save no money. So I left the military and I didn't know what I was going to do after the military. But I read a book that changed my life. Over here on the left, you're going to see something called the cash flow quadrant. Has anybody here read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Let me know. Um, and in that book, he talks about like being able to build a system that'll make money for you while you're sleeping, basically. And a lot of these people did it through real estate. So I knew that I needed to somehow get into real estate. Well, the problem was you can see on the right, I left the military and I started bartending. And I was bartending, and I'm like, I need to get into real estate. And the thing is like I was just always kind of told like you have to have a lot of money to invest in real estate. Like you and here's that a lot. Like you got to have money, you got to have money to make money, you got to blah blah blah. And first of all, it's just not true because I did what I do best, and I went and looking for the answers. And the answer was I found something called wholesaling. Has anybody ever heard of wholesaling real estate? Well, it's basically where I find a property for like 50,000 and I sell it to somebody for 60, and I'll make 10,000 or 5,000 or 20,000 or whatever. But basically I'm selling contracts. That's all that I was doing. So I did that from 2009, 2010 to about 2015, 2016. And I got really, really good at wholesaling. One of my best friends and I, Tyler, we started a wholesale company, and we ended up doing over 1,000 wholesale transactions. We bought on market, off market, probate, sheriff sales, like anything you can think of. Like we like slanged it. We wholesaled houses all over Cincinnati, and we crushed it. We did really well, so well that I was able to clean up my credit. I was able to save some money, and I was able to buy the house that I live in, and I house acted. I bought a house that needed work, put some money into it, and then as it got nicer and nicer, I oops, I as it got nicer and nicer, I was able to get the property reappraised, and I got what is called a HELOC against my property, a home equity line of credit, and I used that home equity line of credit to change my life, and I'll tell you here in a second. So, from the outside looking in, I was doing really well when it came to wholesaling because I was making like six figures and I was crushing it. Like, but the problem was is I still had a job. I was still trading time for money. So I needed to figure out how do I get over to being able to build a system in real estate that I could eventually walk away from. And I say walk away loosely because anybody who tells you investing in real estate is passive is an absolute liar or has never invested in real estate, because it is, you want to get it as passive as possible, but you're still going to be in the trenches here and there unless you're investing as like a limited partner or a GP on some bigger deals. So what do I do? Like I'm like, hey, I'm in real estate, I'm doing okay, but I'm not like truly like I don't really own my time and I haven't built a system. Well, guys, I don't know about you guys, but like whenever there's somebody that has what I want to like learn from them. I don't want to like learn theory. I want to learn from people doing it. And at the time, I was hanging out with Nate, and Nate and I were closing some big apartment building. And Nate is the founder of the Big Bird Group, one of my best friends, one of my mentors. And Nate, Nate called me like it was on a Wednesday in November, probably around this time. And it was like we were working on closing the deal and then closing some deal. And it was really loud where he was. And I'm like, Nate, what are you doing? Like, where are you? And he's like, man, I pulled Caden out of school and we're sled riding and we're just done for the day. And I'm like, dude, like you're not allowed to pull Caden, your son, out of school, and you have to work on a Wednesday at noon. That's what the rules are. Like, that's what you have to do, right? Because that's that programming, right? And he's like, man, I already made $1 million this year. He's like, I'm done. I'm not doing anything else. And I was just like, dang, like I knew he did good. I just didn't know he like did that good. So I was like, Nate, will you help me like buy real estate and set up a system? And he's like, I got you. He's like, but I'm gonna go to Florida first and I'm gonna come back. And I'm gonna come back and then I'll help you. But me being me, I'm a spaz. I didn't want to wait. So I just went, my friend Tyler and I, we went and bought 2 ranches on a slab in Coleraine, this like suburb of Cincinnati. And they cash flowed really, really well. But the one thing they did not have was appreciation. And the appreciation is like the money that you make while you're sleeping. So in real estate, we're going to get paid 4 different ways. We get paid on principal reduction, we get paid a little on the cash flow, we get the tax benefits, and then we also get the appreciation. And if you buy right, the appreciation is the most powerful thing. And I'm going to share that with you in a second. So Nate came back into town whenever he came, and I was like, Nate, I did it. I bought these rental properties. I'm going to be rich just like you. We're going to be rich together forever. And we're going to ride off into the sunset. It'll be the best. And instead, I got scolded. And he's like, dude, that's the wrong area. What are you doing? I told you not to do that. I told you to wait, blah, blah, blah. So my partner bought the properties off of me. And then we went and found an area that really appreciated, that had some upside in Cincinnati. Problem was, it was still kind of in the hood and nobody else believed him. But I was just like too dumb and desperate. I'm like, I'll just do whatever you say. Like, you've got like, you've got a pretty awesome life. Like, I want a life like that. So I'm going to listen to him. Like, I'm not going to listen to like, guys, Thanksgiving is coming up. And I know everybody has like that broke Uncle Lonnie that just is like, everything's a scam and everything's terrible and everything's the worst, like blah, blah, blah. But they always got to give advice. And they almost did something great. And they almost did this and blah, blah, blah. Like, you can listen to Uncle Lonnie, love Uncle Lonnie, but just like, don't take advice from Uncle Lonnie. Just don't do it. It's just not worth it. Just listen to him and be like, yeah, man, you were so close. Whatever. All right. So what I'm gonna do is kind of share with you guys the system that I use. So this is the property, my first property that I ended up buying. I bought this with using my HELOC, my home equity line of credit. I bought it for 17.5, put 130 into it. It appraised for 135. Well, that was a pretty terrible burr because I'm into a property for 150 and it appraised for 135. And I got about $100,000 back. Well, one thing I learned was my construction sucks. I had no process for construction and I needed to get better at the construction. The next thing I learned is like, I got to start figuring out how to borrow other people's money so I can kind of scale this thing. Well, this was back in 2015. So let's fast forward this exact same property in 2022. It appraised when I did a refi at $365,000. It had a $230,000 increase. It had appreciated by that much. It appreciated by $32,000 a year, or also 30 or $2,700 a month. Who would be happy with that? Like, I was pretty happy with that. I'm like, that's cool. And this wasn't the only property I bought. I've got like 25 buildings just in this neighborhood. So I did it a few times and did okay. Did so well that I was super fortunate enough to take that money, and there's Nate and I in front of our Hampton Inn, go and buy a few hotels. Who wants to own some hotels? That's pretty cool. It's actually not that great. It's fine. The coolest thing about owning a hotel is just telling people you own a hotel, I swear. And like you can just go swimming, like the pool never closes when you own a hotel. Cause like my son and his friends, like they're like, when's the pool close? I'm like, it never closes for you, man. We're good. And it's just so funny because like growing up, I was just so poor. The only vacation my family ever went on was, we grew up in Canton. So we went to Kelly's Island once, and we didn't even get to spend the night on Kelly's Island. We just had to come back. It was just crazy. But like I tell them all the time, like, dude, your life is so different than my life. Like, it's so crazy. But that's like what you do, right? Who here wants to like leave a legacy, like leave something behind? Like, you got it. You always want to be doing better and better and better. That's the name of the game. So that is us in front of the hotels. And this is Dominica and Simone. And I shared that earlier today about about like English isn't my first language or whatever. And like both of these people are their English is not their first language either. And Dominica and Simone have been in the academy for a little bit. And I would always pick on Dominica because she has a very strong like Eastern European accent. And she's like, I can't cold call. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm like, you need to shut up right now. With all due respect, I don't want to hear that crap. Like, you need to do it. And I would put her on the spot cold calling during on our private community calls. I don't know if anybody in here is in the academy and remembers that, but like, I would put her on the spot. This was like 2 years ago, like always putting her on the spot. Well, fast forward now. Not only does she like have many of her own properties, she's a super successful realtor. Go look up her page, Dominica, on Facebook. A super successful realtor. And now, like, she's partnered with Simone to help Simone get her first deal. And they shared the numbers with me. Actually, let me pull them up really fast. They shared the numbers. They said they bought it for 100,000. Construction is 60, so rehab is 60. After repair value is 265. $100,000 spread. That's pretty freaking cool. Who would want to win like that? Comment if you guys want to win like that. Let me know. Like, that's awesome. And like, English isn't even their first language. And then you got somebody like my main man, Tico, went from 3 doors to 33 doors in 12 months. He was a full-time bulldozer operator. And Tico's the one in the suit. He's like the one that looks super, super dapper. He looks great. But like, there's like just stuff like that. Like, these stories, like these results, like, I mean, it's just like what we do. Like, you put the work in and it's going to happen. And it's like, it could happen in a year. It could happen in 2 or 3 years. It doesn't matter. But the only way this stuff will not happen is if you just don't try, like, or you just give up. And I can tell you that it's like, it's better than the alternative. Like, you just building something for yourself and being consistent. Like, I mean, it's awesome. So that's Tico and Dominica. Now on to some cold calling stuff, guys. I want to do some housekeeping. Number one, I know we got some people in here that said, it intimidates them. Cold calling intimidates them. And I want to just say this right now. It's like, screenshot this, make this your background, do whatever. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. All right? I need you to understand that. It does not matter, because whatever is going to happen is going to happen regardless. All right? So just remember that. I see here, Christina asked, does it matter what state you invest in real estate, because California is expensive? Christina, California is expensive, parts of it. Also, parts people are doing the BRRRR method there and buying properties. They're also doing short-term rentals, and they're also doing ADUs. So there is a strategy. I did a call I think it was last Thursday, about my macro to micro training. And I think I sprinkled in some out-of-state investing stuff in it too. So we actually have some people, and I actually took her out of this, Jennifer, who's from California, and I helped her come up with a plan to find a market to invest in out of state. So we have an out-of-state training guide. But I think you can do, I mean, I wouldn't discredit your own market. But if you guys comment, if you guys comment out of state training, I'll make sure somebody gets you that training, because I have an entire workbook put together for that. So we'll keep going here. Number 2 is, when we make these calls, guys, it's really, really important to make sure you are respectful whenever we call people. And what you need to know, this is like, guys, a lot of people will kind of give you this like fancy system and these scripts and this and that and all this other stuff. But like, here's all you need to know is like, is their intent? Do they want to sell the house? Why do they want to sell the house? What's the motivation? How quickly do they want to sell the house? And like, what kind of updates have been done to the house recently? Like, what kind of condition it's in? And you just listen. And we're going to go through some of that here in a second. All right. And what I'm about to show you, this is the link. You guys can take a look at this link. Oops. I'll drop it. I'll drop it in the chat too. Hold on. Let me do this. I'll drop it in the chat. It's actually Deal Machine BRRRR Invest too. That's the link to what I'm going to be showing you guys here in a second. The exact software. So you guys have that. You'll be able to see that in a second. The next thing is quick little disclaimer. Guys, this takes time. You can make hundreds of calls and get nothing. You can make one call and get a deal. I've seen both sides of it. You just got to put the work in. This is going to require some level of sacrifice. I'm not the person that's going to tell you like you're going to do this and you're not going to have to give anything up. You're never going to have to miss a sports game. You're never going to have to do whatever. Like, there is going to be sacrifice. but nothing great or worth having happens without some kind of sacrifice. I can tell you right now, I gave up like my entire 20s working like between the military and then wholesaling and stuff. Like I was out Friday and Saturday nights throwing bandit signs on the side of the road like a lunatic. I was showing houses to investors. I was getting bed bugs. It was the worst thing ever while I was watching all my friends just have fun and party and do all this stuff. But I knew that if I grinded my face off and if I worked really, really hard at this skill for 5, 6 years, that it would change my life. And it did. Like now, like I pay for nice dinners for my friends that all got to go party. Now I got to do like I get to be generous. I get to like wake up when I'm done sleeping. I get to like have lazy days, slow mornings, like stuff like this. I get to sit here and hang out with you guys and help other people do what I've been able to do, which has been super rewarding. Like just being able to help and give back this way is awesome. And it's not like I'm not like one of these people too that have done like one deal or one thing that and they're like, yeah, just follow me. This is what I did. I've done 3 deals. I'm like, all right, man. Well, whatever. But that's okay. All right. Let's start calling. All right. So here we got to go. Oh, here we go. So let's check this out. Oops. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share my sound. Cool. Can you guys see this okay? So again, Deal Machine / Nate or Deal Machine / Burn Vest. I'm gonna just get started. This will log me in because I already have a membership. Edward found a typo. Guys, I have typos in everything. I'm sorry. That's why I just like to talk. I'll have to mess with it. All right. So here's what I need. I need somebody with their camera on who's on the West Coast-ish would be nice, just because I don't want to call too late here where I'm at on the East Coast. But if you guys drop a zip code and your camera's on, I'm gonna call like two or three times. All right, EF. And then I said, Melanie, if you put your zip code, I'll help you out too. I'll do something there. So first thing I'm gonna do is put the zip code in. Where is this at? Where are you taking me? Hawaii. Christina, are you in Hawaii? Or give me a thumbs up if you are. Oh, Elijah. All right, very cool. That's awesome. All right, cool. Or no, EF. EF put this. EF, where are you, EF? Oh, you are. Are you in Hawaii? Very cool. That's awesome. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do is obviously put the zip code I want to invest in. And if you guys aren't sure what zip code you want to invest in, Google my name in the big group and watch the training I did on how to select a winning market. It was like last week. Watch that training and that'll kind of give you guys some guidance. Who watched that training I did? Whose first call is this? Just out of curiosity. Let me know in the chat. Or is this anybody's first call? Cool. Awesome. All right. So this is what I want to do. So now I got the zip code in, and there's a couple filters that I love using whenever I'm looking for properties. Number one is I like to look for out of state senior owners. So I'm going to start there. Now, if you look down here on this bottom left corner, there's 8,000 properties that match this criteria. Now, I want to build like a specific list. So I'm going to hit match all 291. Dang. That's awesome. So 291 opportunities. Now, the next thing that I would recommend that has served me very well is I like to buy in a certain price point. For me, I've always had really good success buying in that first-time home buyer market. So that's anywhere between like $150,000 and $450,000 is like that kind of market. So I'm gonna just cap the price at like 500,000. Oops, 500,000. Cool. So that gives us 31, which I'm fine with 31 because for me, when I'm calling and I'm making these lists, guys, we have a lot of in-depth trainings on this, but basically I like to build as many hyper-specific lists as possible because if I go through here and I call 31, because how many people in here still work jobs like W-2 stuff, right? And you guys have stuff going on. I like to check I like to get as many wins as possible. And a big win is if I got a list of 30 or 40 people that like on different kind of lists that I build and I'm able to call them in a day, like that's a huge win. Like, are you like I tell people in the academy all the time, I'm like, guys, I just want you guys to set aside like 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, an hour a day, just to work on your real estate business. That's it. Just to make these calls, just to go look at deals, just to go network, just to do whatever. And and everybody can find 30 minutes in their day or an hour in their day. I promise you can. If it means enough to you, you will do it. Like you will do it. So this is a good list we can call right here. All right. And then I'm going to scroll to the bottom. And I got this right here. Now I'm not there. So I just need to like have an idea of like what I'm talking about. So EJ, what's your name? Can you take, or Elijah? There you go. Okay, good, Elijah. All right. So Elijah, now I'm gonna open this address real quick, just so I have like a lay of the land, kind of like where it's at. Well, Texas Roadhouse. Hey, is that right? Did I see Texas Roadhouse? Fresh Market. Wait, this is where I live. What's going on here? All right, hold on. There we go. Wait, why isn't it? Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. Is this Pennsylvania? Wait, is this PA? What does this mean? Is this? I guess that's probably something for Hawaii, I'm sure. All right. All right. Well, either way, I'm just going to start calling. All right. Now, like I said earlier, when I'm calling these people, there's a few things I want to do. I just want to know, do they own the house? Do they want to sell it? And what's a motivation? What's the motivation behind it? So yeah, he said that's not the right address. Yeah, that's so weird. I don't know. I'm gonna call anyway, just because I want to call. Let's just call a few people. All right, let's do this. Now, real quick, you guys see the do not call, right? Now, I'm not worried about the do not call because I'm not selling long distance. I'm not going to extend their car warranty. I'm calling because they're on this list because they have a problem. They're a senior out-of-state owner. They might be tax delinquent, like whatever it is. So I just want to I just want to solve a problem. That's all that we want to do. Who in here likes helping people? Raise your hand. Good. If you like helping people, then you're going to be really good at this. I know that Dr. Chris is like the helper of all helpers. She's the most helpful. We love her for that. So let's call James. And what's super cool is like Deal Machine has this dialer built in. And if you don't know what to say, you can click this button right here. Oop. But I don't read any of that. You guys don't need any of it.
Hi, this is Jamie. I'm not in right now. If you need the best way to set that up is email Jamie Neely at hawaii.rr.com, JAMIENEELY at hawaii.rr.com. Thanks.
All right. So I'm gonna hang up, but I would want you guys to leave messages because would get too many. Like I call over the country. So all right, let's keep going. And listen, Elijah, you got that email. I would go back on this recording, listen to that email, and go to the property address, and I would just send him an email and just say, like, I want to buy your property on, whatever it was, Rochester Road. So let's check this out here. This is a 2-bed. So these are probably, I'm sure these are condos just by the size, which is fine. We can do condos over there. All right, let's call here. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna say this so wrong. Kahupa? Kahupa? Is that close enough? Oh my god, let's just skip that one. This is the most. I've never had a Hawaii cold call session, guys. This is like raw and real. Is there just like a Taylor Street or something, or can we get like Maple? Let's find something. This one's active on the MLS. All right, let me change the filters. Let's go out of state owners that are tax delinquent. Got 18. All right, let's check this out. All right, I'm just gonna call this one. Oh, no, I won't. Road 6. That's weird. All right, here's a good one. This is cool because this is an expired listing. Oh, but it's part of a portfolio, which I am not gonna skip trace that right now. I'm just gonna misspell that. I'm just gonna mispronounce this super bad, but that's okay. Kahu Hipa.
Darius, my tip is always just say it super fast, and then it sounds like you said it right.
Yeah. I've never been to Hawaii. Wait. Kahuipa. Kahuipa. All right.
Kahupi Street. Kahupi
I mean,
Street.
does it even? I just can't. I don't know.
Now, the person you're trying to reach is not available.
All right, we're coming out. We're gonna call two more, and then we're gonna move to a different one. Well, let's call two more.
Oh, they put the pronunciation. It's pronounced Kahuhipa. Hey, I said it right. Kahuhipa. Thanks, Elijah.
I don't. That's how I read it. Donald.
Yeah, but you read it as it was like 4 different words.
I know. I basically just said a sentence. All right, one more. Somebody drop another zip code. Let's call somebody. Let's keep going. This is likely renting. I don't want to call them. Change this filter real quick. Tax delinquent. Absentee owner. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hold on.
Jersey's too late, guys. We can't call people at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little too late, guys. It's not because I don't want to. But it goes back to rule number 1. Be respectful.
Hey, I'm not available right now. Please leave your number and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can.
All right, watch this, guys. Hold on. So I left an AI generated voicemail. Listen to this.
Hi, Malene. This is Jerry Stowaher. I hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out because I'm interested in the property at 45535 Luluku Road, apartment B72. If you could give me a call back when you have a moment, that would be great. My number is 808-353-0611. Thanks, and talk soon. Oh, and if you'd rather not get calls from me, just text or call me to let me know, and I'll remove you from my list.
Isn't that pretty cool? I just like, you can leave the AI generated voicemails. That's so cool. All right, let's see this. Hold on. What zip code is this? Maps. Wait, that's not Brazil. Hold on, let me put it in here. So let's see what we got here. Oh, it's not. Double check that zip code. I'm gonna scroll down to Russ for now. So, guys, does anybody? Oh, this is Kentucky. I can't call Kentucky. It's a little too late for Kentucky. Does anybody? Russ, you're looking for with Mr. Gunn, like Adam Gunn from the Academy? Really? Here, can you unmute him, Karen? Sheila, drop your zip code.
Do I just need to give you an Arizona one, bro, so you can call somebody?
I guess. Can you unmute Russ? Can somebody unmute Russ? Well, maybe you're in a different.
Hello.
Yo,
Hey.
Russ? Hey, are you in the Academy?
Yeah, my wife and I are in the academy. Sheila,
Oh.
and that's why we're on UC Hansborough all the time. We're always on there watching.
I love that.
Yeah, we actually had a meeting with Adam today, working on financing. We have a couple properties that we're looking at. One's a triplex and one's a duplex. We're filling out his form right now while we're listening to this. But we still don't know how to buy in appreciating areas. So that's what we're trying to do. So that's why we're trying to get in on this call to see if we can't find something that's going to be in an appreciating area. And
Dude, you got what part of Kentucky are you in? Are you with?
We're right across the bridge from Tico, actually. I've reached out to Tico today. He just got busy, and supposed to be hooking up with him tomorrow. And we're getting ready to start doing some stuff. We got, like I said, we got about 8 properties now. We got 2 of them we're putting on the market, and then fixing to start our last one that we have. But we're fixing to get the ball rolling for the next ones.
Dude, just be Hey, the biggest thing I can tell people when they get started in the academy, and everybody hates this, is just like to be patient and just like be a student to the game. And just like, I mean, be around the people that are doing it. Like Tico is such an amazing person, like always like giving back and just always like helping people. So that's awesome. Dude, well keep us posted. Let us know how everything's going.
Yeah, but it's only 7 o'clock here. I mean, I don't know
Okay.
what is too late to do some calls or trying
Seven's
to
fine.
figure
It's
some
just
things
it's
out.
8 o'clock here. So yeah, you're like on the Indiana side of Kentucky.
Correct. Yes,
So
sir.
all right,
Yes, sir.
I'll call some people here. And here's the thing, David, is I used to do this at noon and noon on Thursdays. And then we were like, more people are gonna join on at nighttime if I do a call when people are off of work. And that's a total lie because like we would have like 80 people during the daytime ones. So I don't know. We're
You see
damned
that
if we do.
that line right there that goes straight north to south?
Yeah.
That's what you call Frederica Road. So everything on the left side of that is the west side of Owensboro, Davis County. That's the side. That's kind of the area that's been generating to come back. That's where the duplex is, and it's like there's not even there's only one road between there and the river, which is downtown. So that's one of the ones we're trying to get. And then if you go to the right side, that would be the 42303 zip code. That's the two that I give you. So I don't know which ones to pick from either side. One of the duplex is on the left side and the triplex is on the right side. So
Well, let's just
we're still
call
learning.
it, see where we end up. Is that cool?
That's cool, man. I appreciate it.
Are you excited?
I am. I actually I am.
All right, good. How do you like the academy?
So far, so good. I love it. I'm still like you said. I'm kind of got to pace myself because I'm a fast paced mover like yourself. I own a construction company though, so this is kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And my wife's in mortgage. She's a mortgage loan officer, so we kind of trying to hit from both ends here.
You guys got it, man. That's like the hardest thing is just to be patient. Like anytime you learn something new, like here's the deal: is like when I was in the military, I had never shot a gun ever. When I went into the military, and we went to go qualify with our M16s or maybe the M4s. I think they were M16s back then. With the M16s, and I had never shot a gun ever, and I was like terrified. So as we were sitting there at the range, learning how to zero, how to like hold it, like the breath work, the trigger squeeze, all that stuff. I was listening to everything they were saying because I'm like, I'm terrified. Like, I don't know what to do. But then I had like these other guys that were like part of my squad and part of my platoon or whatever. And they were like, yeah, we hunt every weekend and we kill squirrels and we do this and we're this and this. So guess what they did? They didn't listen to anything that the instructor said because they were like, yeah, we've already shot guns. So I listened to everything and I just kind of became like a student to like all this stuff. And I ended up shooting. I ended up shooting expert, and then they ended up not shooting expert and being so mad that this kid from Ohio who's never shot a gun before is qualified with like 37 out of 40, and they get 32 out of 40. So so that was so I say all that to say it's like you come in with construction stuff, but it's almost like I just want you to reset what construction looks like, like what it all looks like, and just be patient because that's the best thing. But like, man, I'm a spaz. Like I'm a self-diagnosed crazy spaz. I hate waiting. I want results now. And it's so hard. It's just so hard. It can be so hard to just be patient. Can anybody else relate to that?
That's where I'm at. That's my wife has been telling me that I need to stop and fall back. Like the thing you was talking about Tuesday, I believe it was about putting all your trim up and your baseboards up and things like that, and then painting everything one color. I'm like, that is amazing. I mean, because I bought paint the other day and it was the wrong color, and I went back to buy more paint and it was still the wrong color, and I got upset and said, screw it, and we just repainted the whole damn house again.
Dude, it's not worth it. I'm trying to pull this picture up so you guys can see. I shared this in our private group. The funny story is I just got a cash offer on this house, and I literally bought this house for content for our academy members. So this, okay, real quick. Let me throw this out there. If anybody wants help, like if anybody wants some like customized, like if anybody like wants to break into real estate, not sure like if you're at a right spot to do it, and you guys want help, comment the word strategy. We've got some sessions between now and like Saturday. We've got a few sessions open where we can get with somebody on our team and you can get like a customized roadmap to figure out like exactly what to do next. So if you guys want to get started, you want to get going or whatever, comment strategy. And I can promise you one thing, we're going to leave you way better off than when we got you. And if we can't help you, because we can't help everybody and it's not for everybody, we're going to give you like actionable steps that you can take to do to get ready to come back and actually move forward. So if you guys want some help like that, comment strategy and let us know. But this is what Russ is talking about. So this house here, I'll show you the before photo real quick. So we gutted this to the studs. This is it here. Now, eventually everybody here wants to scale, right? You guys want to buy a lot of houses, and you part of buying a lot of houses and doing it successfully is going to be having the systems and processes. Well, back in the day, I used to paint all of my units different colors. Like I would think it's like a design contest. I'm like agreeable gray walls, intellectual gray trim, this ceiling, this, all these. I'd overthink all of this stuff, and I still see people doing it often. But at the end of the day, what the product that we need to deliver to people is a clean and safe home. That's it. And you got to check the boxes, and you got to understand that like the things that you think matter really don't. Like here's what the house looks like now. Everything in this house, I've painted one color, one sheen, one everything. Who in here would walk into this house and be like, man, I really like this house, but I was hoping there'd be an accent wall? Like nobody. Oh, hold on. Well, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Thanks for saying that. There we go. There it is. So you guys see the house now? So this is it. Yeah, I mean, it's just all super clean. It's just like these little tweaks right here that you can do that will just save you so much time and so much money and just really just build an efficient system out. But that's what he's talking about. There, I did it also on another one here. Find this. I'll pull this up and then we'll get back to Colin. Where we at? Photos. So this is what this unit looked like before. Guys, like I tell you, like I do big crappy houses. Like these are the houses I do. These big old houses. But I like, like I like doing them because at the end of the day, like everything in these is done. You can't can anybody see, can you guys see this or no? You guys can? Nate, you might be on the wrong tab, maybe. All right. But see how it's just all gutted to the studs? And then I took it and we turned it into this. Who'd want to live there? All one color, one sheen, one everything. Just a nice, clean house. So, all right, Russ, you got me sidetracked. Let's get back to the main event. Who wants me to call? I know Russ does. All right. So let's go back to some filters. As you can see here, we have 191 properties in the zip code of Kentucky. I'm gonna clear all my filters, and let's do this. Let's go tax delinquent, and let's do out of state owners. 18, not a lot. I like that. Cool. And then again, where my like sweet spot, the wheelhouse I like to buy in is like that first time home buyer range. ARV of like 150 to like 450,000. Which I know we can definitely hit here. So Candace, this is family. So look here, out of state, boom, off market, high equity, tax delinquent, out of state, oops, off market, absentee, 100% equity. So that's great. So this is Candace. This is family. So let's call Candace.
Hi, you've reached Candace Jones. Please leave a message back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.
Let's leave a voicemail. Boom. All right, love to voicemail. So I'm not gonna. So I think that's her cell phone. I'll call this one next. Let's see if anybody answers here. All right. So I think that first one was her number. So we dropped a voicemail. Let's call this off market, high equity, tax delinquent, out of state, absentee owner. This is Candace again. So I don't know if it'll let me call this number again. Yeah, it's the same. So you can't call back to back on here, which is good. So the nice thing about this, guys, and I'm gonna drop the link again here. Nice thing about this software is it literally does everything for you. Like it pulls the list, it can skip trace all of it. The skip tracing is free. The dialer is built in, and it's a single line dialer, which means that when you call people, it won't show up as like likely spam. And also, too, you get a local phone number from like wherever you're calling. So it's the best dialer for when people are starting out, hands down. All right, let's see what we got here on Bonnie Castle. So this person, so this isn't an LLC. I'm not going to skip trace this right now. So looks like they own a few properties. We'll skip that one for now. This is also part of a portfolio. What's cool is Deal Machine has a big announcement coming up with being able to skip trace LLCs soon. So you guys can check that out. All right, let's just call Carolyn and see what's going on here. All right, let's find the next one. Guys, and like when we're looking at these properties, I want you to understand that we're looking at it like it's a deck of cards and we're sorting, we're not selling. Like whenever we're talking to people, we just want to solve a problem. Do you have a house you want to sell? Yes or no? Cool. Tom, can you tell me a little bit about it? Sure. They're going to go into their life story, all about the house, all about everything. You're going to get the motivation. You're going to get everything you need. The next thing I want to know is when can I come look at it? And then that's it. We're problem solving. That's what we're doing. And if I handed you a deck of cards and I said, hey, there's 4 aces in these cards and or in this deck, and you guys are going through this deck with all these cards in it, and you guys find a 10 of spades, are you gonna like take that 10 of spades and then be like, well, this is close enough to an ace when you know that there are 4 aces in that deck of cards? No, you're not. You do not need to sit there and turn something that isn't into something that you want it to be. Like if I get somebody that's going to be him-hawty, or there's somebody that's going to be like negative, or somebody that's going to be like whatever, they're like a 2 of clubs, and I'm not looking for 2 of clubs. I'm looking for ace of spades. I'm looking for ace of clubs. Like I'm searching for 4 aces. And the faster you guys can understand, you get rejected, you can get hung up on, the faster you can sort through these, the better and better that you're going to get. So yeah, and I mean, here, Nate, Nate, can I just do a screen share with it? Hold on one sec, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sending it to my computer. Give me one. All right, hold on. So check this out. Nate just sent this to me a second ago. So wait, Greg asked, quick question. What do you do if the number and email are there and you don't get a response, but Deal Machine is really great? I mean, you said, so this is what you do. Remember how earlier I said I would rather see you guys set up a bunch of micro lists with like 50, 40 numbers on it, and then you name that list. Like say I would name this list here 45 or 42301, and then my 2 filters: tax delinquent, out of state. This list has 18 properties. Then I would do another list of tax delinquent, tired landlords. Or I would do another list of absentee owners, senior owners, or tax delinquent senior. You get what I'm saying? Like a bunch of like little lists. And I would come back and call them every 10 days, every 7 days. And I'd come back and call it. The one thing I would not do, Greg, is obsess about somebody not answering the phone and then just don't do anything and try to turn that, 9 of clubs into that ace of spades that exists. So the answer is like, I'd get a good follow-up sequence, but I also wouldn't obsess over it. I'd find the next one. All right, so check this out. So this is Nate. I was just calling to confirm. So this is a property that one of our Academy members picked up and then actually sold. Nate, do you just want to tell the story? Because you can tell it way better than I can. I don't know if he's in a place where he can talk. All right. Well, then, so basically, this is a house one of our academy members picked up and then is selling it to Caden, his son. This is gonna be Caden's third property. Now, obviously, you guys can read this here, but basically, this was a great. Oh, I can't unmute you, Karen. Can somebody unmute Nate?
What's
There he
going
is.
on, Jairus? How you doing, brother?
Good, good. Why don't you tell the story? Because I'm gonna mess it up because I don't really know it all the way.
All right, let me know if you guys can hear me or not.
Loud and clear.
I'm on a cruise right now, but honey, would you get that menu? So, my son Caden, man, this is his third property here, and this lady said that she's had so many people call her ever since she bought the property in 2007 to sell it, to sell it, to sell it, to sell it. And we went over there, and Okino, he's actually in the academy, he was the first person to become a millionaire. Honey, you going somewhere? Oh, sorry guys, I'm on a cruise right now with my wife, and I just wanted to jump on here and thank you, Jairus, for everything you do, and you too, Donald, putting this together for everybody. But so Okino was in town. He was in Cincinnati. We had an event last week. We had a Friendsgiving. We had about 100 and what do we have? About 130, 120, 130 people come in town.
Yeah, something like that.
And Okino was one of them. And Okino is actually, he was the first person that we knew that became a millionaire in the academy, and he did it in 7 months. And so he's just really become, like so many people, an integral part of the community. And he was like, man, I want to help Caden out. He was like, I found this deal over here. Now, keep in mind, he lives in Boston, but he's learned how to use Deal Machine. He's learned how to do all this stuff that Jairus is showing you guys how to do. And he just prints money. Whenever he needs money, he goes, makes it. Because that's the system that we teach you guys how to do. Cost me decades of my life and millions of dollars of mistakes. And Jairus would probably tell you the same thing. I don't know if it cost him a decade of his life, but definitely millions of dollars of mistakes you made along the way. And we still continue to make mistakes. I don't want you to think that you'll ever be perfect. I mean, I've done 4,500 units. I still make mistakes. But this lady said, ever since she bought the house 15 years ago, people have been trying to buy it, and sending her postcards. And she decided to sell it. And when we asked her over there, well, why did you go with us being Okino? She said, well, you guys kept following up with me and formed a relationship. And she said it was just time. And so we ended up getting this property. Jairus, did you look at this property at all?
So he was at my office when he was. I know it's the one on Boudinot, right?
Yeah, it's on Boudinot. I think it's worth 220 to 250.
Mhm.
And the lady told me she had an offer last year for 100,000. And I just went through and I said, well, we can't give you 100,000. And we ended up, I told her, I said, look, we're at 80. If I give you 79, I'm going to feel like I'm taking advantage of you. If I give you 81, I'm going to feel like I'm paying too much. and I asked her, I said, the offer that was 100,000, did they walk through it? She said they walked through it just like you guys. I said, well, why not go with them? She said, well, there is a sewer issue that came up. And I said, did they know about that sewer issue? And she said, no. So they were pricing it out about right. This sewer issue is going to cost us about $20,000. So we're right there, right on par with them. But the moral of the story is all that Okino did was he kept following up with her. He kept following up. She said everybody else would reach out to her 1 or 2 times. And, Okino just closed on a deal. It took him. This is a deal that 3 years ago he ended up reaching out to the people. So, you guys say, oh, I can't find deals. I mean, what is your expectation? Is your expectation when you go to work tomorrow or when you go to work for the next year that you're going to retire? Like, certainly not. You guys plan on going to work for 40 freaking years, man, and still not having enough money. Most of you guys. So what I'm saying is this. Get in here, work the system. This system will yield results. It may not yield them in a week. It may not yield them in a month. It may take you 3 or 6 months before you get your first deal or get good enough to even know. But you're making money. People are going to college, man, and they're going for 4 years without making a single penny and paying 6 figures out to get out and get a job that makes 50 or 60,000 a year. The stuff that we teach you guys and show you guys can make you all millionaires in under a decade. And here's just proof what this lady said right here. It was the right place at the right time, and we called her at the right place at the right time, and it was a win-win. Jirish, you want to read what it says?
Yeah, I read and write on a third grade level. Do I have to read all?
Okay,
I'll read it.
I think I can probably blow it up on my phone and read it.
I'll read it.
Okay.
All right. All right. Hi, I haven't talked to anyone, but I did receive an email with the link to the title company portal and have access to see the process and progress on the order. I also received a receipt of the earnest money deposit. Caden has been communicating with me via text, which is great because that's probably the best way to get a hold of me since I'm juggling and working in doctor's appointments, trying to find a place to move, etc. I let him know I saw my hematologist yesterday, and that I start doing my high dose infusions on Monday. Unfortunately, my body is running at 5% right now, so you guys can really come right. So you guys really came right at the right time to take a huge bird off my shoulders with this house, so I can focus on staying healthy. Please feel free to call and text me anytime.
So
As
look
well.
at that, man. You only need to go to the third grade to be able to read like that. That is awesome, Jirius.
You're welcome.
No, hey man, but look, it was the right time for her. She's dealing with all these health issues that she's like, I don't have this money to fix this house. She has a leak in the roof, the gutters are messed up. She has, issues that we take care of on the daily. And this house here is, like I said, 220 to 250. We picked it up for 80. I think we're gonna have to put 60, 70 in it. And it'll be worth 2.25. So probably cash out refi about 160, all in it for 150. So we get all the original cash back, pay back the hard money loan, and walk away with 5 or 10,000 in our pocket, which isn't a great deal, but it's still a good deal. And it's a good rental property, and it'll continue to appreciate. 3-bedroom, 2 full baths, built, 2-car garage, built, and I can't believe it's only worth 2.25 either, Jarius. I really can't. I thought it would be worth more than that, but I mean, I ran the comps, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, guys, here's the thing, Nate. You said something too, like interesting, and like we're kind of being spoiled when you say this. Like you're like, yeah, we'll only get back like 5 or 10,000, which isn't like who in here would be happy to even do their deal with none of their own money, like or like and get a deal with like little to no money in it. Like that's a huge win. Like 5, 10,000 is even bonus, and we're seeing Academy members would post these checks like 20,000, 60,000, 100,000. Like it's insane what you can do when you have the right system in place, guys. And if you want help doing this and you want to like if you are not sure if you can do it, or if you like want guidance, you want to skip the whatever, comment strategy and one of us will get a hold of you. Like, so we'll get you on a call and we'll get you with somebody on our team and we'll see if we can help you. And if we can't help you, we'll at least give you guys the resources to be able to like, we'll give you direction to go so that way you can come back after you've knocked a couple things out. So that's awesome.
Hey, thank you for that, everybody, and thank you for that, Jarius.
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
but,
Nate, I don't have a
Go
ton
ahead.
more. I'm gonna do a little bit more calling. I'm gonna call for a little bit longer, but it's awesome.
Okay. Well, I'll just stay here in the background, man. Thanks again for doing this, Jarius. I appreciate you and Donald and everybody else who puts this stuff together.
Dude, I love this. Is one of my favorite things to do, and I think that we might need to go back to daytime cold calling.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
daytime you had double this amount of people easy.
We had way more people during the day, and we had like free reign to call everywhere, which was really
Yeah,
nice too.
yeah. Yeah,
Which didn't
I
just
agree.
limit that. So Chris just messaged me directly and said, Jarius, when can we
Thanks,
meet? I have a
Russ.
pre-foreclosure in my pipeline. I need a partner. Oh, he's in Cincinnati. What Chris is this? Hey, just send me a message on Facebook. That's gonna be the best thing to do. But we could, I don't know. I'm not doing like any small deals or anything, but you can, I don't know. We can look at it for the academy or something. I don't even know what Chris this is. All right, I'm gonna call. Let me call some people. All right, let's go back over here. We got, all right, this is nice. All right, let's call Margaret. All right, I'm gonna call like 4 or 5 here, Russ, and then if someone, I'll do another zip code if somebody else has one. But again, it's got to be like West Coast. All right, moving on. Let's go to the next one. Guys, I gotta talk to somebody. Oh, that's an LLC. All right.
Hi, you reached the voicemail box for Patty Goodspeed. Please not leave a voicemail and send me a text message so that I can call you back right away.
All right. Here, I'll try one here in this other zip code that you just dropped. Let's see what we got. 13 opportunities. Let's call it oh, this is it's an email. Payne. All right, let's call it Payne. This was a vacant lot. Well, let's just call anyway and see.
Call has been forwarded to a voice message system.
All right,
931.
one more, Russ. Guys, I'm telling you, this is as real and as raw as it gets. Like, just so you know, when you're calling these people, a good connection rate is like 13%. It's anywhere between really anywhere between like 11 and 13%. And this is like the life of a cold caller. Who in here wants to do this for 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, an hour a day? I know, me too. I do. I love doing it. I don't even care. Is vacant land worth your time? I don't. It's not really. Not for what I want right now. I mean, I'm probably just, it depends where it's at, but I'm not really actively looking for anything, honestly, for myself. All right. Let's do this. Sheila says, yeah, I feel that. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of times, guys, we give 40, 50, 60 hours a week to our W-2. Then it's like, hey, I need you guys to come home and I need you to do this for 30 minutes to an hour a day. And they're going to be like, people are like, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't want to, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Like, I know you don't want to. Nobody like wants to do more things after they've worked, but like you just spent 50 hours a week building somebody else's dream and you're not going to give yourself, your family, your everything 60 minutes a day to do this. And I'm not even saying do this forever. I'm saying do this. Dude, the season of suck doesn't need to be that long. Your season of suck, of just working extra hard, of sacrifice, man, give us like 4 years, 3 years. Like, you owe it to yourself to do this. Like, you owe it to your future kids, your future self, your future everything. All right. I'm going to do 5 calls in this zip code that Christina dropped. California. All right. And then I'm going to wrap it up. But guys, let me know in the chat how everybody's doing. All right, we got probably got to get rid of these filters, huh? This. Let me clear all my filters. Cool. So we got 9,000 opportunities. Well, let's look here. Let's look at tax delinquent. And let's look for senior owners. And let's match all. I mean, this is an expensive area. So like, obviously everything in here is a lot more. And I'm going to call just because that's what I'm going to do. But like, I would also, like, let me zoom out to see where we're at. Long Beach, LA. Like, I know that we've had, Academy members that have had success in LA. Like, I don't even know where Christos bought his house from, somewhere around there. But I know that we've had Academy members that found success like burning and buying properties because they've been able to use ADUs out there and like find creative ways to make more money. But also, and again, I don't know everything here, just off the top of my head, but I know that there is opportunity the further east you go, that there's more reasonably priced properties that people have done decent on. But again, I'm not going to dive into that right now. But I'm going to call some people. Good Hugh. So look here, we got off-market, high equity, tax delinquent, senior owner, corporate owner, belongs to Anna Potter. Let's call Anna. Yeah, Greg's first deal makes 100,000. That's amazing. Greg, we didn't do anything. Like, we just told you what to do. Like, we just gave the direction and you guys executed and put the work in. So, I mean, I'm super proud of you. That's awesome. Greg, will you message me your the numbers on that first deal and then send me a photo? Because I'm gonna like, can I share that like next week when I do my call? When I do a call, just your story. That would be awesome if I could. But if not, that's okay too. I just want to ask permission. All right, sorry. Anna's not the one. Let's keep going. I want to find, there's got to be somebody's going to answer. Come on, Gail. Off market, high equity, tax delinquent, senior owner. 100% equity. Like, this is what I want. Chris, I did a whole training on out of state investing and picking contractors. If you just comment, I think I just said earlier.
You have reached 62943.
If you comment out of state investing or out of area investing, I'll make sure somebody gets it to you. All right, I'm gonna call 2 more. All right. Let's call Stefan for White Spring. I feel like this is the one, guys. Feel it. I'm gonna call one more. I can't just like one more. This one. Hey, Karen, can you unmute Greg real quick? Greg, let me know when you're unmuted. Hey.
I think I'm unmuted.
All right, good. You're unmuted. All right. Guys, I'm sorry. We struck out on the calls. It's life. These are live. I'm sorry. Greg, what was my challenge to you last year? I don't remember. Can you share it real quick?
I came to the 360 with my wife, and I said I was trying to find a deal. And you came up to me and you told me, dude, if you don't find a deal by the end of the year, you said, I promise I will embarrass you. So
I said that. I didn't mean it.
But yeah, I ended up finding one, man. And like I said, I'm glad I did.
And so how'd you find the deal? Can you run us through the numbers?
Actually, the deal I found, it was a guy bought it. He didn't know he owned it. It was a tax deal. The guy that owned the house passed away and he never paid the taxes. So the guy, he lived in Florida and he ended up buying it. So I went by, I kept passing by this place, because I was doing a whole lot of construction work out there. So I called him. He didn't know he owned the property. And I took pictures of it and I sent it to him. He was like, oh my, is this my place? I said, yeah. But I ended up picking up the house for, I think it was like 35 grand. And it sits on probably an acre and a half, believe it or not. I'm really, really handy, and this is not typical, but right now I have maybe 20 grand into the house, and we will be done probably by the end of December. I mean, it was a total gut. We'll probably be done by the end of December. And I was looking up comps in that area. I bought it as a 2-1, but the city didn't know it was actually a 3-1. So we went in and changed it from a 3-1 to a 3-2. And 3-2s in that area, they're selling anywhere from 190 to 210. So like I mean, I think all in, I may have when everything is said and done, I may have 50 to 60 grand in it. So like I said, I got a potential to make over 100 grand off this house.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you waited for the right deal and you just stuck with it. Like you had the process, you had the playbook, you had guys. If you want the process, the playbook, you want the support, and you feel like you want to get started in real estate and you're not sure where to start, if you haven't already, just comment strategy and talk to somebody on our team, because like this is what we do. Like we love doing this. Like we love pouring into like people that are going to do it. Like, and I'm super excited, like super excited for Greg, obviously, but like I'm excited for like when Dr. Chris gets her first deal, because I know she's like so excited. She's always like celebrating everybody's wins and doing everything. And she's like, when's it going to be my turn? But the hardest thing is just the patience, because like I swear we spend more time like shooting down deals than we do ever being like, that's a good deal, because that's how disciplined you have to be. And then it's like,
Yeah.
you go back and we got to retrade, we got to negotiate, we got to get a better deal. But the thing is like you've got to understand what you're buying and why you're buying it. So
And the biggest thing is, do not rush yourself. Don't go out and just buy anything. Like when I had a ton of freaking opportunities. I said, but I wanted that right deal to come by.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, cool, guys. I'm sorry about the calling. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to be here next Thursday. I think that December 1st, we might pivot and go back to noon on Thursdays, just so we can call. What do you guys think? Is everybody okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, I hope everybody has an incredible rest of the night, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.